we just have to apologize here, guys. We hit a technical glitch. Sorry. Humble apologies there. We hit a technical glitch there. So copy back the link and just send back. For those who joining back, we just want to apologize. We just hit a glitch where we just hit the wrong button. So we just want to apologize on that. Sorry about that. Please share back the link. We did not mean to hit that particular button. Alright. Share properly.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to jump into the discussion, I wanted to say that.
Should we not wait till the link is sent out?
Yeah.
We're going to send the link again.
But we already sent it. All right.
Yeah.
So just bear with us. We it's not intentional. Please send back all the links if you can. And you can hit back the link. I think the link is saying that the link is actually identical to the one that we sent out. Right? I think it's saying yes. Huh? It can't. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We really humbly apologize for that. We ask that you just share back the link. We're gonna go back to all the groups that they just shared it in and share it again. We just hit a technical. My hand missed hit something that should not have hit. All right. We're just gonna go back to all the groups.
Next thing you know, keep your hands to yourself.
Play fair.
All the ladies is right. All right, sorry about that, folks. We had up to 40 something viewers just now, so we have to try and get that
49. You were 49 viewers
right.
Previously.
So sorry, we're still discussing the. I just have to post them back where they were, so people can pull them back up. Right. Again, we just humbly apologize. We just were trying.
Here's posted in the group, so you'll see.
All right, tell people to just apologize on that for me.
I don't see it, sir.
Hmm?
You can't show me that.
Go for the
I just said just now. Oh, yes, sir.
Right. That's what you're trying to hit it off just now when it went off. All right. So it's back in all the groups. Let me just get off here. It's back in all the groups. So pages. All right. So again, I just want to humbly apologize on that. As I said, my hand just missed and hit the wrong button. So right. We want to humbly apologize on that. Right. So again, the numbers are raising back. Thank you for coming back. Sorry again. But we were discussing the whole Black Lives Matter and it relates to what we are seeing in the States and what we are seeing as it relates to how Black people are being treated as it pertains to the whole Black Lives Matters, as it pertains to police brutality. And we must find a way to be able to help our people spread the message as it relates to this whole police brutality. And as I said, I was seeing videos where police were still brutalizing people in the United States, and that is something we seriously have to look at. Now, in David Denny and those guys, when they were marching, I think you were there.
Of course I marched.
You know what?
Because I have to stand up. Something that's great.
Correct. And in that I heard people talking
and my brother, Kemar Stewart, was there as well.
Yeah, Kemar, you were there, yeah.
Me and front page news too, huh?
Correct. So, what the funny thing about that is that David and those spoke about police brutality here. And that is something that we have to look at. Black Lives Matter goes so much deeper than just this one particular incident with Floyd, because there were so much other persons that were affected by affected by police brutality.
That's right.
But this one, with the 8 minutes and a couple seconds of video where we saw somebody's life squeezed to death out of them. I don't know if anybody's ever seen anybody killed in front of them. That, to me, was murder in front of me.
Of course it was.
101. So that is something that we have to take a look at. We have to take a stance against. But we want to hear from you. We want you to share the video. We want you to tune in every Tuesday to hear from us. Myself, we have Simon Allen, Damani Small, Jeremy Beckford, and Kemar Stewart. Now, just by a disclaimer, we are all from political class, or political parties rather. That may be better, but by no means when we are on the show, we are above of that unless we need to be.
That's right.
But we are here to bring topics, to bring conversation, to bring discussion.
Correct.
So let me delve in. Guys, you know, you've seen the march, you've seen the protests. What are your views? We touched on it last week when we first did our welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts? What were you seeing? Barbados, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts and your views as it relates to this as well. So please let us know what you think, what's your thought, what's your views, and let's go from there. So we want to welcome everybody. And yeah, let's have a discussion, gentlemen.
Yeah, what I was saying for me, the departure point is always trying to deconstruct racism, because racism is the platform for all kind of social injustice, all kind of prejudices. And when we understand that a lot of the social commentators in America are saying, look, the real problem is the issue of racism that has been systematically institutionalized within America, that is contributing to issues like police brutality. But we just don't want to limit the movement of Black Lives Matter just to addressing the issue of police brutality. If we're looking at issues that affect Black people or people of color across the board, we have to look at things such as access to loans, access to proper health care, access to education. And it's funny enough that there's some statistics coming out of New York with regards to how people are treated, people of color. And I'm on this site that deals with DoSomething.org. It speaks to 11 facts about racial discrimination. And one or two of the facts here says, in New York City, 88% of police stops in 2018 involved Black and Latino people, while 10% involved white people. Of those stops, 70% were completely innocent. In terms of healthcare, from 2013 to 2017, white patients in the U.S. received better health care than about 34% of Hispanic patients, 40% of Black patients, and 40% of Native American patients. And it says here to our Black sisters, Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to experience a pregnancy-related death than white women, even at similar levels of income and education. So when we look at the whole Black Lives Matter movement, you know, the catalyst, or what you would say, the straw that broke the camel's back would have been the passing, the murder of George Floyd. Just don't think is the issue of police brutality that's being addressed, that's the only challenge facing Black people. We have challenges in healthcare, education, and housing. So for me, what would be interesting is to see how legislation in America, for one, you know, America is supposed to be the beacon of the world, how legislation in America would begin to affect and influence the rest of the world in terms of race relations, access to health care, better quality housing. Those are the issues that are facing Black people even now in 2020.
Okay. A lot of what you said, I can bring that home to the Caribbean. I could give my experience of police brutality. I had a police officer put a gun in my face out of the blue, right? I don't want to tell the whole story in a public forum like this, but it was a very traumatic experience for me, given the fact that I gotta say what the right roads in life, right? And even still then, you still have to face the force of criminal justice system who is more. I would say this: if I was white in Barbados, I probably would not have had that experience, right? But not to go into that. So in the Caribbean, though, our history, we were colonial societies in English-speaking Caribbean, also in the Dutch-speaking Caribbean and the Spanish-speaking Caribbean. The entire region was built from colonialism and slavery. And even within societies that are predominantly Black, which still the Caribbean, we still hold the white communities in hierarchy to the Blacks.
That's
the
right.
mention of healthcare, the issues in justice system as well, in finance, economics, and banking. So what we are facing right now is a continuation of a colonial society, but more modern day. That the racism in the Caribbean is not so much latent in extremes as it may be in America, but it's more systematic, coming out of institutions which we preserved from colonial times.
That's right. That's right.
And just to add a point, many persons may not know, but the Caribbean played a massive role in shaping slavery in the Americas. In North Carolina, Barbados gave North Carolina its blueprint to be able to shape a slave society.
That's right.
We were also transshipment points for a lot of the shipments coming from Europe and other parts of Africa.
That's right.
So today, if we still have those same shipping routes in place, what can you say changed about slavery?
Probably the cargo. That's it.
In terms of my viewpoint on this whole issue, last week Saturday morning, I got up and I went to the march, Black Lives Matter march in town. And for me, I saw it as a proud and defining moment, not only for me as a black man, but for my race and for my people in Barbados. I said to myself that I looked around and I saw all that was happening. And I said to myself, 10 years ago, my son, who's 3 years old, might look at me and say, Daddy, I was reading history books, and because all this is a part of the story, so this is history. I was reading the history books, and this is what I saw was happening in Barbados 10 years ago. What did you do, Daddy? And I immediately knew within myself that I must be able, at that given point, to say to my son, not only did I sit by, but I stood up. And I marched. And I not only marched. I can openly say this here. I don't care. I try wherever possible to spend my money with black businesses.
That's it.
Right?
You get on to something, no?
I'm a realist. I try to support my own black people because I understand that at the end of the day, we are all we have.
Correct.
Right? No. Saying that, no one is born black because they want to be black. And no one is born white because they want to be white.
That's right.
So this thing, whilst we are looking at it as the issue of racism, right? This issue is also, as my pastor was saying today, a spiritual issue. Right?
Of course.
But that is a discussion for another time.
That's right.
Right? You mentioned the point about institutionalized racism in America.
That's right.
But there's institutionalized racism in Barbados.
That's right.
But we don't call it racism. There's a lot of elitism and classism.
All right.
Right?
All right.
You going to an organization to get a job, and if the money, who might be a few shades lighter than me, going for the same job, and you, Simon Allen, who are a few shades darker than me, going for the same job, the order will be ranked 1, 2, 3. So we already know who got the most likely possibility of getting that job. And if it's a red-skinned woman, oh Lord, it's trouble. Right?
Okay, we call a red-skinned woman.
No, I'm not. I did not say that is racism. I said it is classism, it is elitism.
All right.
Right? There are people in this country hold on. There are people in this country from certain neighborhoods who believe that they are inherently better than persons from other neighborhoods.
You think it's a time of kind of privilege, not white privilege, but
it is privilege, period.
Privilege.
And you wanna know what? It manifests itself in church. It manifests itself in politics. It manifests itself in business. You look at in sports as well. Look at the organizations in this country. Look at how they are headed. Look at the persons at the forefront,
Who they're headed.
or even by who they're headed. Right? You know.
But what about?
Hold on, Kimar. There was something was sent to me the other day. Hold on. It wasn't hard for me to believe it. 92% of the wealth in this country is held by the minority in this country. If that is not cause for the wrongs and the ills in this country, there is no ill in this country then. We as black people have to stand up.
I need the facts on that. Because not only passion got come with
and it's
Facts.
the numbers and
Mm,
fact.
okay.
If we are saying 92%, which I some possibility might not. No, but you can't say that it's well, by how much?
By 8%.
By
Well, not by
8%, but don't
8%,
forget-
because of that 8%, 1% owns something. So
Mm.
7% of them break too.
But hold on.
We gotta be real.
At the end of the day, right?
What I'm saying is, hold on.
I'm listening. I have
In
another
fact-
point to
in
add.
fact,
You say what you
God
have to say.
added to the to for the people. I mean, if we say numbers, Pele, we need to see where these numbers coming from. Was there a census done by a bank? Was there a census done by somebody? Now, one of the things that we might gotta be careful in understanding is, now, we know that there are white people in this country with wealth, and there are white people in this country who are employers of black people, and that has to be somewhat of a balance. Are we condemning them along with when we are saying
I am not
about race?
condemning
Wait, hold
them.
on. When we talk about people that are of racist, like outright racism, people that treat black people bad, stuff like that, and then we have to be careful not to say because somebody's of a lighter skin that they're because somebody's a red woman doesn't mean that she's not black. So it may be I brown, say when you blacker than me by far,
Yeah.
but doesn't mean that I am white. You understand what I mean? So there has to be a strong balance between both of how we look at it, in that the sense that
True.
we can't put everybody in the same bracket. Now, if we go as far as the things of wealth, one of the things is that I of the belief that a lot of times black people are the reason why they don't create wealth. Because you find that I've worked with Indians and I've worked with whites. And I remember clearly a guy saying to me, a white guy saying to me, after I asked him to train a couple of students on business, I was busy training my children how to lead my business. So he didn't have the time. In a black community now, we busy doing other things or too busy doing nothing for our children to be future leaders.
I want to question.
That's debatable.
Hold on.
So,
I want to
I'm not
question.
saying that
Definitely.
everybody, but I'm just saying I
In some
find
instances.
that in our instance, black people, wealth is created in some instances, and in most cases, through generation. Not only that, it starts from, we may have to start for a week creating a business together, and by bringing in money, we end up then branching off another business on our own, which then we can say, well, let my son run it, or let my child run it.
Family.
In most cases, in most businesses, people amalgamate to grow.
Yeah.
We have this thinking mentality that, oh, you can't grow past me, or you can't run past me. If you run past me, you can trip you down, or you can blacklist you, or you can do it. And then we find ourselves fighting against each other.
But that is a legacy of
But,
Willie Lynch.
all right, hold
That is a
on.
legacy of Willie Lynch syndrome.
I want to ask some very pertinent questions here,
That's the
right?
legacy of
Because
slavery.
you made a very poignant observation. Now you spoke about black people and wealth, black people and business, what we are up to and what we are not up to. America is a country of 300 million people or so. Of those 300 million people, 15% are black, 51% are white. So we can say reasonably there are about 155 million white people
Let me
in
get that
America.
statistics for
Right?
you know what?
America is a country of 300 million people. 15% are black, 51% are white,
Oh, okay.
and the rest are Latinos and Chinese and all the other minorities. Right? Of the 51 million white people, you cannot have all be involved in business. You will not have all who will be rich. You will not have all who will be poor. There will be varying demographics.
Definitely.
Right? I am using that point to say this. We live in a country which is predominantly black.
That's right.
So the same dynamics will exist here.
How much you said black?
15%.
well, yeah,
Close 30.4, 60% are white, and Hispanics
higher than the
black.
It's 15.
18%.
Right. So what I'm saying, what I want to say
is this. When you talk
when you talk about
Because there's got to be accountable.
when you talk about wealth, right? One of the main ways that persons have been able to build wealth in this society, and don't fool yourself, is by going into banks and getting loans
Yeah, credit
to
facility.
actually
Invest.
and invest
in this and invest
Or
in
you mean
that.
on the backs of
Right.
black people?
No, hold on, hear this. How, Simon,
Yes, please.
you're a teacher.
The money. I'm not gonna. You're an entrepreneur.
I'm not sure if you work as yet,
It's true.
right? I am also a worker. Kimar is here at the Barbados Business and Homeless. Sorry, the Alliance for and homelessness. I'm not discrediting you, sir. I know you are. I know.
Real bad.
I know you're an. Hold on.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Hold on. You're an economist in training.
That's
right. And hopefully, future minister of finance in Barbados.
Aye.
Right. So I give you your credit. Right. That's as long as they probably do what they're supposed to do. Now, any one of us can walk into any financial institution tomorrow morning and get a credit card, which is probably about $10,000. No, hold on. At 21% or 23% interest to go and spend to buy. Like say money outside women. We. Right. No money. Right. Hold on.
Bring home your point, though.
Bring it home, bro.
Right. We can also walk into a commercial institution, any financial house, and get a loan to buy a car.
Oh, that's the quickest thing to get a loan for, boy.
You can also
I heard a man say you can get a loan for a car, but you can't
Yeah, loan,
you can also walk into that financial institution around Christmas and tell them you want to buy some curtains.
Yeah.
And you want to buy some sheets.
Yeah, those
and you want to buy some things from the stores down Broad Street.
Or Small Street.
And get a $3,000 loan. Walk into that financial institution tomorrow morning. Anyone.
Business.
I said, listen, I got a wonderful idea for a business. All I want is $5,000. I want 50. Because you're willing to give me 100 to buy a car. But I want 5 to start a business. You know the first thing it's at? We will give you $100,000 without any deposit to buy a car so you could drive up and down, put gas in it to make people rich and all that sort of stuff. But if you want $5,000 to create some wealth for yourself, you gotta bring a business plan.
And guarantors.
Hold on. You gotta bring the guarantors, the sureties. You gotta bring the deposit. And hold on,
Jeremy. I ain't want the whole idea
of the bike.
No, it's not the idea of the bike. I'm bringing this
Bring
here.
home the conversation.
You give me. I don't want you to run down the bike.
You see that? You see that $5,000 that you are borrowing for that business loan? That business, you could take that business and you could develop that into a proper business. My friend Kimar here might want to start an economic consultancy.
Hold on.
And Kimar might get a child. And Kimar want to. I am not missing point. I am bringing it to Black Lives Matter. I am bringing it. Let me talk.
Let it finish, man.
Let me talk. Kimar here might want to start an economics consultancy because Kimar might want to advise the government of Barbados, just like White Oak or many of the other consultants or consultancies which has advised this government.
It's true.
Right? And other governments. Right? And Kimar might know, you know what, if I could get a sweet $10 million, $20 million deal, I can take that money and I can invest it in something.
That's right.
So that when I pass on, that money goes to my child and then my grandchild. That is what you call generational wealth. But you know what? Hold on. The system. What I'm saying to you, right? You talk about Black Lives Matter. The system that is in place right now ensures that even if Kimar here has a wonderful idea and Simon Allen has a even better idea for an entertainment company with Rum and Coke, that he cannot pass on money to your child because they're not going to bet on you.
Before we even go there,
the first thing they will tell you is about the risk. But I will say this to you: risk
You
is something. No, I'm not advertising bank. Risk is a idea package for a stupid man.
All right, stop.
All right.
Hold on. Let me just add this.
We try to stay on stop.
The thing is, right, before we even get to people that he that in the bike, right?
I'm not in a bike.
Was in the bank.
I blasting you out. The thing is, right,
Correction on the fact that
anybody should get a credit card. They probably might be getting it. We are not for free because.
Yeah, because.
But here's it. I find that I know people. I know a lot of people
are rich, right? That
if you have a certain
Yeah,
Burley Peas is watching.
If you
if
you have
a certain complexion,
I realize you could walk in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we talk about Black Lives Matter as racism. No, you could walk in a
bank tomorrow to your piece of pants, to your piece of shirt, slippers as a white person, and holler, I want to buy the building cross for the central bank. I hear 100% financing and you get it.
Or you gonna say
I
it's a
know.
guarantee?
No, even a guarantee.
No, a guarantee is a
Hold
word
on,
piece of paper.
but hold on.
Some
You complexion, you don't even care about you bring a paper.
Yes.
or if you don't bring a paper,
That happens sometimes.
When a
It
black
happens.
person walk into the bank, we gotta put on the finest
That's it.
or we close to be turned down. Because when you get there now, and I've had my fair share, sir, business plan, sir, bring 5 guarantors,
Right,
make sure that they
surety.
may got
this and that.
and bring 20% deposit.
But when the
Financial
white
accord.
person,
Person walks in, all you gotta got is the last name for at some point in time, or the right color, and nobody ain't gonna ask you no questions.
and then when
I
they
mean, literally don't ask you no question. They may gonna ask you the question they ask me and you.
But you know who's walking in there by alone?
You understand?
A
Black
black
A
man.
black man, but you see,
But he
so
boarded
we
there at
sometimes
this
or the we
A
own
lot of black people when they board too.
hold on, we sometimes or
the
the
problem to we
Yes, we are.
because
We are
we
the
don't
problems.
allow we to grow.
That's
They
like
will
you.
not take the risk
With
with
a black
we.
man, no, they won't.
Ice 20, ice 20, sorry, ice 30.
30.
You don't know
tell
what it
lies,
is.
you don't tell
30,
lies.
sorry.
Fact check that, please.
Looking like 30 looking like a 15 and it ain't easy.
it ain't easy
School
walking boat and saying
You want loan for this. Sometimes you go in a bank or any financial institution except
the fast loan ones and sign up. You know the
the other day I did a loan
for one of my businesses.
right? And the guy called me and he said, Safri, you know the thing approved, you know. I said, boy, 6 months.
But that real
That can too real fast. In
master 6 months we was working out there since
2018, boss, I was like, what the hell?
For a loan?
For a loan, I did not know in my mind that I was working on that loan from 2018. Because I didn't know that 6 months.
The idea
I
package
was
and that already.
If I did package and that, and the business may be so vital for the time and right for
Period
the
of
time
time.
that when you decide to give me the money now,
2 years
2
later.
years later, and in my mind somehow in the back of my mind I honestly
believe that it was only 6 months ago. But the man said,
6 months ago. What we talking about?
I want to put
This
some,
season,
you
this
know what
season.
I'm saying? Go ahead.
Keep on.
I want to put some context here. We were speaking about generational wealth
Yeah.
and the different communities, mid whites. Then there's the Muslim community gain a lot of wealth. But what I observed is that in black communities, it's usually headed by one parent, which is the mother.
Single parent.
Yeah,
single
matriarch.
parent households and working.
Look the father something too. Look.
Right, fathers.
You
some-
So I know a lot of farmers work hard, so I wonder where you're coming from.
But
Well, let me finish.
I'm just saying discrediting, but just making my observations.
Correct.
So, most of the time, the skill or the capital in the family in terms of job, right, is low skill, and the ability to earn significant amounts of money is low in many instances, not all. Because we have had some parents getting higher education, starting businesses, what's not, and they gain significant amounts of wealth. But as I said, in most instances, we have working class people who don't earn large sums of money. So the skill that's passed on to the kids or to the children will most likely be that of the parent,
Right.
if they don't go to university education. So your ability to earn income in large sums will still be on par with your parent or below. As I said, unless you go to higher education.
Right.
So to paint that into a political context, this is just to give you a situation, a conversation I had with a political scientist. She was saying, no, I think that you were a little bit too young to get into the fray and what's not what. So I said, why?
to get into
The politics. So I said, why? Well, the current prime minister, she got into politics at my age. She said, well, the difference between you and her is that she has political capital and you don't.
Oh, that's what you were told.
Yes. Right. Question is, you had a history, a family
A family
history.
Yeah, political pedigree, as they call it.
Right. So from young, right, but from young, she would have been socialized in the culture. Meanwhile, I'm now starting in the culture, so it's a major difference.
You all create that generation.
among you and your family.
Yes, yes. I didn't take it as a insult. It was just a very honest observation.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But doesn't
So-
mean honest, but doesn't mean right.
Right. Not that it was the right thing, but
It is those observations that keep us down.
right. But what I am, or what she said, if you put that into context, it comes down to the skill of the parent, and what the parent learns in their time to pass on to the kids, so that they are therefore able to tear that up and run with it. But given the fact how Barbados is set up right now, and it's getting a lot worse in terms of the family structure. Income levels are low, skills are low, which is again a remnant of slavery. So when you go on to the banking situation that you guys are discussing, banks were traditionally racist.
That's
They
right.
Look from
day one.
day one.
Yeah, but they were brought by the economists.
Good. So if you look at how the banking system is set up through the entire Caribbean, Canadian bank own majority of the shares. We have one.
So you're gonna say how much black
Black-owned banks are there.
Right. So if you look at it's either a local government bank, but there are no private, and they're subject to correction. But as far as I know, there are no private banks in the Caribbean owned by the Kimar Safri or the Manny Small or anybody of the like. Right. So when you take your outlook, when your outlook is being provided for you from your oppressor, you ever think that he can give you something to help you?
No.
Regardless of how many black people work in there, regardless of how many black people as managers, the skill of ownership is still not in the hands of black.
Funny
Well
enough,
said.
America.
Well
I
said.
just want to break up you. In America, there's a lot of black-owned banks. Very small, and like small states or small. But since the whole thing with Floyd death,
A
lot of
lot of
conversations
people.
taking money out of the white-owned banks
And putting it
and
back.
putting it in
But
the
they should.
local black-owned banks.
They should.
And that for me
Was a big thing when I saw
that a lot of black people were starting to move their money because if the man said that they
the black bank in the
community which may have an investments of about
50 million is
the bank that supporting the community, but the same black people will have to come and buy get loans and
Credit cards.
from, but they were going to store the money in the big banks.
Yeah.
Have you ever Black Wall
Because
Street?
yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
we can get to that. But
that is just showing no people are being
serious
about aligning themselves
with black people to create
I
wealth.
just
Correct.
want, I can flip it a little bit. Right? Y'all talking about banks and how the banks more in favor of giving loans to white people over black people. But check this. How many black people are there that could go to a rich black friend and say, look, I want to borrow $5,000, $10,000 to do a business and get it? That's one.
You can levy that $5,000 my rich right?
That's one.
Here.
No, the next side of what the story is you go and you get a friend, a black friend come and tell you, look, I want to borrow $2 grand, $3 grand, whatever, to do business, to do whatever. You lend that person the money.
You gotta see it.
You ain't get back.
I got a question for you.
If you do get back,
Uh-huh.
when they come and tell you, okay, I want to borrow X amount, and you get back in X amount of months, that time, the months gone, years pass, the money ain't come back yet. As a black person that try to assist another black man, you really think that he wants to another one come? A time he come in a person's life, when you say, look, I ain't care how much friends we is, I ain't care who you is, I ain't lending you no money. I ain't got nothing to do with you personally, but because of the experiences that I had before dealing with black people, I find it's very hard to partner with black business owners and get through. It is hell.
You want me to say something? Do you know the money?
I got this on my
You want me to say something? Do you know?
Go ahead.
Hold on, let me balance that.
Alright, just in case. Okay. Go
Right.
ahead.
This is where we'll see if you write the money. And it is statements like those which are handed down to us as black people by the oppressors that allow us to continue in this situation that we are in. Do you honestly believe that what you have just said as it pertains to you lending a black man money, you feel like that it actually don't apply to whites lending a white man money? But for some reason, those same white people that may not pay back their own white friends can walk in to a bank with monies which are owned by black people who work, they send the money there, and they save their money, and they can borrow your money that they may not pay back the white man by the way, but they can borrow your money, right? You know what I mean? They can borrow your money and start a business, right? And I'm going to be real here a bit this evening because I'm not saying that this is what happens with a lot of people, but in some cases, there are people who borrow money for business, and then years later, you see papers falling off the back of trucks, showing that they were giving out breaks here,
there, and everywhere.
with some of your money, baby, to get contracts so that they can, you, the taxpayer,
Is you
you get hit in a double blow. So you, the taxpayer, give them a contract. I'm running too far off. But you, the taxpayer,
give them money, right?
at over
Over exaggerated prices.
But you, the saver in
The commercial bank.
also lend them the money to rob you.
But
I want-
Jeremy,
But
I
at the end
got
of the day,
Hold on,
right?
hold on.
They're gonna do it at the end of the day. You
No,
still,
no.
how much black businesses you see run well compared to, let me say, the
Oh,
white
wait.
or white or in the check
But-
in there.
but-
I
but-
believe
Right,
I wanna say
let
something.
me narrate, let me
This-
That's
narrate.
gonna do the same.
Hold on.
You want
But
South?
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. The question I
You
want
want-
to
The question
I want to ask is this, right? And this will be one of my final questions. How did we
As a race,
get here? What part a black man
sitting
down right here is willing to pull down other black businesses?
Jermaine, this is
And
about-
our
Jermaine,
black people.
that's a- hold on.
Experience, you don't
And
like
it's
hear about
something that
check.
happens
But Jermaine,
race-wise.
I have
Jermaine,
that's not.
You live it. You do it every
But you still
single
doing
day.
it?
But hold on.
Jeremy,
I feel
in my
you
belief,
got it, right? In my belief, right? In my belief, I got to agree with the man. I find
You don't have to
hold
agree
on.
with me.
I agree with you for sure.
but you don't care.
But hold on. I find
right?
You sure it's point.
that in the black race, as it pertains to business and wealth, a lot of times we do not
I want
have
to point after you.
principles.
Yeah. I want to say
And
something
the
after you.
principles start from that if I lend Simon my money,
Uh-huh.
I should be able to get it back.
Uh-huh.
And that is where the principle starts. And that if you take that principle by Simon, I lend you $5, I want it back. If you say my exit, that principle can own you over to think or own you over in the bank in anywhere.
True.
So the reason why we not help one another is because of that principle. And you can't
Well,
wrong it.
and they're gonna do a history. They're gonna
So-
do a past. They're gonna do got something to do with the experience that you have right now.
Ibar,
But
Ibar,
I wanna
you
say
talk hold on.
something.
You talk about principle, right? What's more principle? The money here lending out
$2,000, and by the way, I want to borrow
$2,000 for business too. I can pay you back.
right?
The money
He lending $2,000 or $3,000 for a business to a fellow black man, right? And not getting it back. Or a man and his ancestors 4 generations back start you off in slavery, then bring you up in amelioration, then bring you up as a housemaid, right? And then in today's world, they put a invisible whip on your back to ensure it stay down.
Yeah,
you
the
talk
status quo.
principle, that's principle too, brother.
I will walk about my money,
My
though.
point- my
Yeah, we
point
tell
is
yourself.
this. My
That's
point is
principle
this,
too, man.
that Both of your points have relevance. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the whole racism and the history of racism and then the institutionalization of it. You got to understand still that for a lot of black people, wealth is still a new concept. And not even wealth. I mean, just making money.
You know there were black
To
people
be
who were
rich.
slaves too, right?
But
Of course,
what
but
about
to
the
be
part
rich-
you Simon
And the
where
fact that we talk about intergenerational wealth, the way how we conduct our families, the way how we live as a result, and the thing about it, it goes back to our ancestors and slavery, the damaging effects of the Willie Lynch syndrome, the damaging effects of slavery in the Caribbean. Don't forget that we live in an island that Sir Herbie Beckles has been quoted as saying during his research that the slave experiment worked perfectly in Barbados. Of course. But why do you find that it is merely Jamaicans and other people from islands who go overseas and they're able to push and they just do well overseas? What I'm saying is that the colonial experience of Barbados has our people a lot more timid, a lot more reserved. We're more fragmented than we are together.
But
As
do you
opposed to other groups.
do you think Simon that as black people that we are serious about wealth?
Yes.
And not from it, not don't let me go from it from the traditional talk or talk. Do you think as black people we're serious about
We're as serious as the educational system makes it.
Which
Now,
means
if
a
the
lot of thought then.
If the educational system tells you, well, you gotta get a degree and you gotta get qualified to go on and move on in life.
Who designed that
So we
system?
think wealth then is created from the paper we receive.
More or less.
So the best paper, the more I will receive a better paper, the better it is in society.
Correct. So the more degrees you get, I was into it too because
Just
I've been studying and studied first degree, masters, and so on. But you would find that you cannot restrict yourself just to having a way of book sense or knowledge. Because there's always the person out there who would be a risk taker, as we were talking about, who believes in the idea or concept and offers a good service or a good product, and they're able to create wealth. So we can look at the traditional way of becoming wealthy
So that's what
through
I said.
education.
And
So what is the
John is saying, it's
Solution.
oriented work.
Mhm.
Is that we have to, as you said, be risk takers, but I think that it also comes with a little bit more training and a little bit more practice as it
For sure.
pertains to us as black people, where we would know how to tell ourselves
that we will need to be educated, but also we need to get into
the practicality
of things. It also means that we as black people may now have to look to put together
together our money.
to be able to start that bank. We may
We
have
have to put together our money to go and buy that building.
I've seen
Yeah,
but I've seen where
the Indians,
That's right.
and when they was renting a building, they may have 3 names,
on the things it was Simon, Kimar,
and Jeremy.
And they
And
share
then
it,
They
they share
went
it,
by
they share.
SKJ.
Correct.
investments. That is only just for that building, you know.
Because if they
Of course.
decide to buy a building for us,
Or
and
gas
we decide
station.
to put the money, it can be
SKJD.
SKJD or
SKJ.
SKJ. So they keep bringing the businesses as they need the companies as they need to buy,
But-
so that it doesn't affect the others per se.
But Safri is a
But
culture.
together-
They grew up in that as a
But
culture. That's
out of the
generations.
solution, though,
Yes.
we then need
To
to be
change the
able to
culture.
change. I got 4 brothers,
You know-
and
you
I
know-
said,
you know-
I got 4 brothers, right? And I said to myself, all of us are close age. We're only 2 years or so apart, which is good for my mother, because all of us.
No,
the guy's 30, I can't remember, but my brother is like 35, 36.
So you gotta fact check yourself,
Imagine now that an acre of land in St. George selling for $100,000, and 4 brothers decide to walk in the bank
I get it.
and get that and take our 40,000 square feet is an acre.
Yeah.
So you get 10, and the bank said, well, you got
Pay me back $1,200 a month, and you pay about three.
Easy
and
work.
we see another acre to go and buy tomorrow.
That money.
That might we end up buying 4 acres in total, and each of we get 10.
And then my brother said, well, no,
Well, let me
keep this acre over here. You
keep that acre over here. You don't pay off one another.
That's right.
If we don't start to think like that, to be able to trust one another,
and to be able to
bring
bring
the wealth, or all 4 or 5 of we can get and go and buy a building in town. And if you met, Indian want to teach me this, you know, if you met 2 cents off this building, be thankful.
because we can
Go
go
and buy a building where you could make 20 cents. We buy another building, we could make 100 cents.
That's right.
I want to make
Go ahead.
observation.
Speak up.
What I saw, particularly the issue right now, what COVID did for the world is to show people, show persons how valuable it is to possess a skill,
Mhm.
and an online skill, to be exact,
Well said.
and how the world
you possess that skill for you, or it showed us that we have the ability to.
it showed where the world is going, and if you do not position yourself
Online virtual.
to go where the flow is,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be excluded from mass opportunities.
Right.
And then the cycle will be all over again. People will be complaining, what's not. But I find in particular that we have a large cross section of Barbadians who are not working. And it will come a time when people start to feel the
32%.
effects of unemployment.
Over 40,000 plus,
It will come a time where the government feels the effects of.
That's right.
taking care of that particular set of people.
But the government is already feeling the effects.
Of course.
But it will get more severe.
More
But
severe
the point
because
that I'm trying to
the
make
longer you
right
take
now
care of them.
is that the outlook of government and the outlook of civil society now has changed.
Yes.
The outlook of the educational system now has changed. What I find, given the fact that we still see oaths to the Queen, right? I do not necessarily think that the agenda from the top down is best. I think we as we need to return to a family-oriented solution. Whereas we need to start focusing on household wealth, how a household grows its money, how it earns its money. One key observation I made is that majority of the most successful businessmen did not go to university,
One.
and they're also family men
That's it.
in the household married to, well, I
A
try
wife?
to be anything about boy training and all that. But
No, I say as
right,
it is.
man,
A man marry a woman.
woman, household, children. Right? This is my observation.
Like, when you really know though?
Right, like, okay.
We can share hands for once.
But still trying to be.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I am
So,
trying to be neutral.
what, as I say, what I am seeing now in terms of the family is segregation. So, I don't want to live with you, my brother, or you, my cousin. No.
Yeah, dysfunction, yeah, but
Dysfunction in the family is fragmenting your ability to gain wealth as a unit. Plus the fact that most likely me as a low income person, my friends will be low income people as well.
correct.
So the ability to say, well, look, we can put say $50 every week. It can be hard on a man who went or he like bills going up, water bills going up, but still going
But
up.
I think they're
But-
gonna make
but
that,
the
they're
strength-
gonna make that, they're gonna
the
make that
priority.
sacrifice.
Yeah, but
I
you
think
have
you
to.
have to.
Because
If we look at, I remember I did a study one time on the amount of, a guy, he was about 60 something. And when we asked him how much cigarettes he smoked a day versus alcohol he smoked a day.
drink.
Sorry, he drink a day. And how much crack cocaine he drink a day. And
Smoke.
we were, and we were able to calculate that over a period of time. He would have spent
Thousands.
over $1 million in drugs.
In blackies and things.
So imagine if that $1 million over the years, because it got financial things that tell you know if you carry home $1 every day in 25 years, and that is where we have to start thinking. long
Deferred
term.
gratification.
Yeah, because we can't.
Deferred
Simon Mayer
gratification.
said himself he can't become a millionaire, but doesn't mean his son can't become a millionaire.
I want to add something.
You know,
very,
so
very
we got
awkward. I want
we have to look at how we as people make this. Listen, I hate to dress how I dress. Honestly, I hate the long sleeve and the square shoes and
The
the
long
pants. I think the best time I ever dressed in my life was in COVID, because that when I was coming
Short
to
pants and t-shirt.
not short pants. I got hard foot, boss. I got come thing in a jeans pants and my t-shirt and my lower furs. You understand? And I felt good coming to work in that. But I know when the government open back, when I go and I meet with business people, I went and I met with some people today, and that was up in Sandy Lane. I cannot go in my short pants and my t-shirt.
You won't get it
And
right.
that means to say that there's a sacrifice
Yes.
that we have to make to be able to get where we need to get. We ain't saying to kiss nobody's tail, but at the end of the day, I can't. I went when I eat with when I went to meet the Queen and I ate with commissioners and all of that. I had to look presentable. Everybody in there in long suit and the dinner suit and thing. You think I can go up in there to represent and I go on and
Bathing
everything?
suit.
And I'm not saying that you
What
kiss
can
your
Bob
tail.
Marley?
You understand? I'm Bob Marley.
Buckingham
Yeah, you
Palace.
can go in the split by Bob Marley.
He's
But I'm
a
just saying, at the end of the day, we have to sometimes make these sacrifices
Agreed.
to be. And I proven that making sacrifices have got
Pay off
me
where you
where
are.
I want.
I
And
will make a point.
then
Alright,
you
let me
know,
get this point
so
first.
I just say we have to seriously consider sacrifices, and if it means putting $1, don't forget we talking that the fact that if we are to start to create wealth as black people, if we are supposed to be able to have a seat at the table as black people, when I watch old time pictures with black history, the people that fought to be at the table was not easy. When you watch pictures like Harriet, where
Tubman.
you had to, she had to run across states,
Yeah.
and black people and white people own and hold on to black people and say, look, you ain't
My
left me
property,
here.
it's my
When you
property.
get a child, the child is mine. When you get a this and that, and they put him where you used to call the breeders mandingo and things like that to go around the women and sleep with them and then give
Impregnate
them
them.
impregnation and stuff like that. What I'm saying is, we need to be able to start to take rigorous approach, come together, kill the stinking mentality that we got,
It will
that
take
because
time.
Simon driving a BMW, he's a butter, or because Kimon
Sure,
Shank is
BMW?
driving
No.
a this, he carry the homeless money, and
It's true.
start to look
Well
at
said.
the fact that
You want
people,
Mercedes?
no, but I want one. You understand? And I want one because I,
I
like
want
them.
Suzuki Swift.
And I want them because them is the biggest car. I want one because
But
that's
you like them, that's your preference.
I got a wife and 3 children. I want a house. I got
You
4
got 3
bedrooms.
children?
Yes. Right? But I'm just saying to you,
You're damaged,
we
man.
will be able to create the wealth, and we need to be able to change this first to be able to create
That's
that.
the point.
All right.
That's the
Let
point.
me make a point here, right?
Quick one.
A very quick point. Very
So that
quick and succinct, as we call it.
think again.
We look at, you know when we had the Barbados National Bank in this country, you know the credit union movement actually wanted to buy that bank before it was sold.
Oh yes.
Right. You telling me?
No, I'm telling you, the credit union movement wanted to buy the bank. And the regulations governing the credit union movement at that time were that they couldn't invest money without certain parameters. Alright? No.
I'm gonna buy
The
it.
government, hold on. The government of the day was selling the bank, I think, for $50 million, which is chicken feed compared to $6 billion.
Selling the bank or this year.
Selling shares in the bank. for
Their
six-
shares in the bank.
Yeah, for $50 million. Alright? Which was chicken feed in comparison to $6 billion
In accrued savings within credit union.
movement at a given time.
Mhm.
Right? But the government said that they wanted foreign exchange. Right? Now, remember, the government was also selling land on the West Coast. The government also had the Barbados Light and Power. The government had all sort of entities in this country and assets in this country. Right? But the credit union movement, which is predominantly black owned,
That's it.
wanted to buy the commercial bank, right? Now, I am just saying this to you, right? You just spoke about people coming together and having wealth and all that, right? If the credit union movement was allowed to buy that bank, the profits that that bank would have made from 2000 and I think it's around 2002
Whenever.
until 2020
18 years.
would have been, that would be 18 years of profits, which would have been split amongst members of the credit union movement.
Black people.
So you would get your shares from being in the credit union and whatever profits they made, but you would also have to get part and parcel part of the profits that was made with your investments.
Understood.
Right? And let me say this to you. You see VAT right there? VAT is black empowerment. Because black people in this country would be able to say, look, I am a part owner of that.
Agreed.
So do
Right?
you think that if the blacks were serious about buying, or if the let's say the credit union, because there's always things that prohibits people,
That's
where I believe
Mhm.
then that some rigorous approach, well, even if it was by protest or by virtue of people moving their money from the credit, from the commercial bank,
You do recognize that the
Oh.
government of the day said, and I quote, we wanted foreign
the
exchange.
government of this day or the government of the day.
The
Of that
government
day,
of the
of that
day,
day.
the
Of that
government
day.
of the day said that they wanted foreign exchange, right? And by wanting foreign exchange, they automatically excluded over 100,000 black people in this country from being part and parcel owners of their
Okay.
own
I
commercial
get
bank.
that.
All right. Let me hear it.
Right, but what we did with
So that is
What
60
the-
men or 30
hold on.
men who
What
did that
the
to
Barbados
100,000.
Labour Party movement did when there was the selling, they wanted to sell the Hilton. That was a block by the people. That was brought forward by the Barbados Labour Party and blocked, and that did not go through. So what I'm saying is, we have the power at the end of the day to be able to where the
Influence.
bank should have, the credit union could have said, listen, these don't want me to buy the bank. Where the black people to say, well, if we don't want me to buy that bank, we pulling out we money out of that bank and we put it in the credit union and that bank will go along with its business. You understand where I'm coming from? I'm
Yeah,
just
power
saying
numbers,
where the
man.
power and the numbers are. Go ahead, keep on.
Just a quick point to tap into what you said last.
Yeah.
Even if you put in the bank, it's still in the credit union, it's still
Yeah,
in
back
the
in the same
bank.
bank.
Because the bank,
That was bank money.
Right.
But they can't buy no money.
All right, but no, I don't want to.
so they can move it to another bank too?
Possibly, but
Okay.
you selling the only Barbadian owned national bank.
So
Huh?
They had, but it was still selling the only
Because
Barbadian.
we were majority shareholders in the bank.
Yeah,
Right.
But, so he was still selling it either way. So moving it to another bank still didn't make the sense. But
Right.
what I see in the Caribbean, we had traditionally black leaders, government leaders, with the exception of few countries, right? So in the early 90s, a lot of the motivation coming out in the 30s and what's not, there was always that fight and that passion about being black in Caribbean because you were facing oppression from, you were saying, mother countries, right?
Thomas, you was a curse.
Your mind dirty, Wood.
But so if you go as far back as Toussaint in Haiti,
Yes,
he would have
all over
fought.
sure.
He would have fought against a colonial power, and Haiti being one of the freest black countries in the world.
That's it.
Right? So you had even Mr. Brandianos in Barbados, you had El Barro, you had Forbes Burnham, and these particular leaders, they had a fight for their time. Black empowerment.
That's it.
Right.
Black nationalist
And
movement.
Errol Barrow in his thinking brought a lot of improvements towards the black base in Barbados. Right? And that was great motivation to the Caribbean. We experienced the rest because people fought for what they want, and coming out of that shaped the independence narrative. In this day and age, we don't seem to have that same vigor or that same fight, right?
True.
We became
More
very,
talkers than
yeah,
fighters.
we became very
Correct. The pen.
Right.
Fighting in the sword.
individual. So the idea of blackness don't mean much besides a catchphrase to a lot of black people.
That's right.
Right? I see what people more enthusiastic about black affairs than they want than the blacks.
Agree.
Right.
But there's a reason for that.
Just
Go ahead, Rob.
Benefit
Continue.
about the business
If
side.
I start to hone in my point now, look at Nelson, which is a big contention in Barbados.
For some.
He's a perpetrator of colonialism.
Yeah.
And you've got blacks defending the fact that we need Nelson because that's our history, right?
Not my history.
But yet in America they're picking up all the other Nelsons.
Confederate, all the Confederate
Alright.
leaders.
So what would have plagued Barbados and the wider Caribbean through the actions of Nelson in his life, right? Would have been the sea and low wages we talked about, massive migrations of black people from the countryside to the town side.
Urbanization.
You got a lot of people crowding up, overcrowding their houses. I don't know if y'all can remember the Moyne Commission.
Moyne Commission.
Right? All of these are things that shaped what the Caribbean was back in those days.
That's right.
So, what is shaping
That's
the
now.
Caribbean narrative right now? CNN and the BBC
Fox News.
and Fox News.
American agendas.
That's what's shaping the minds of the Caribbean.
Correct.
Bear in mind, we still have European-minded institutions in place, and we run off of European models. So you now have an Americanized society
For European taste.
for trying to manage European institutions.
Mhm.
But where the blackness, where the Caribbeanness, where's the black empowerment agenda to shape society according to us? That's where it's seen.
That's a good point. That's a good question.
Do we believe that, you know, when I look at the same Black Lives Matter, I believe that there are two types of Black Lives Matter. In my belief, meaning that there is the Black Lives Matter stemming from a slavery and all of historical things that happen. But then there's still a Black Lives Matter as it pertains to young people not being able to get anywhere.
Exactly.
And I believe there's a juggle between both.
Right, that you got
voiceless now.
correct. So sorry, I don't mean to
Go ahead.
interject, but what you do now, since you have the captured attention of those young persons who feel disconnected from American society, who feel as if they're being victimized, they experience victimization. I can't walk the street late at night because the cops, want to frisk me, or I get pulled over all the time if I'm driving my car. Now what we gotta do is educate those black kids now and tell them about history. You gotta show the linkage to what is happening now to what happened
Do you
in the
think that is
1960s and
teachable
even
now? Do you think that is
Yeah.
teachable in terms of
the Black History Museums in America?
History is teachable, but I think that
You gotta link it.
When,
You gotta
when,
link
I
it.
saw
You gotta learn
the, when I
history.
saw the George Floyd situation,
Yeah.
I put two things together.
Mhm.
One is that in the midst of what is going on, the emotion runs high.
Of course.
So it's unteachable within that context or at that particular
Correct.
time, because so much emotion is in
That's
play
it.
right now.
That's it.
As in, if you look in America, so much police officers are resigning, chiefs are retiring, mayors resigning.
Under
As
pressure.
Atlanta, we could just see the latest death as it relates to Atlanta. The guy that got shot in his back. It's causing people to move off, but the emotion is like, if at this point the emotion is not getting its chance to
vent.
No, not the vent, the
People
because
so angry.
everything you look on the news, the police,
they've been getting this.
this thing right.
Because of how they are trained, it's systemic racism. Honestly, a lot of those cops believe that they're not doing anything wrong. They go to the school, they go to the police training academy. We are told, okay, don't forget. Well, in most cases that you pull over black people, they may be carrying a weapon, or they may be violent.
No, hold on.
That is what they are taught.
No, hold on. I
Hold on, Jamil. Go ahead, Giovanni.
There's a video with some cops that has said that they have quotas. And then they were saying based upon their quota, if they're one shirt, two shirt,
A black man got
obviously you look for the easiest way out. And the easiest way out was to go and target a black, go and target a Latino, because those people that they
Because
think
racial
that they
profiling goes on there.
I must add though, I must add for the
And that's right.
census.
I personally don't feel like a cop should got quotas.
Never.
I fight for the census. I think we were supposed to research that in Barbados,
Yeah,
but the census as well.
Actually, I was
Quotas.
told, I got research this, that we do have quotas.
I told you that last time I show.
I think you were saying
I told you that
They have quotas. More money extra.
Okay,
That's
but let me
bullshit.
add the numbers.
Nonsense, yeah.
There is research to prove that a
White cop
is
more prone to be killed by
a black man
in a black community.
than a white people.
No, but
Yeah,
it
there
would
is,
make
because
it would make sense. though.
There is
Makes
a
sense.
you can research it for sure that
That white cops.
can be killed easily. Don't forget,
Don't let me be one-sided.
I agree.
America loses thousands.
thousands of cops a year,
But not all of them are killed by black
but
people.
not all are killed. But high percentages, especially depending on the areas, are killed by black people. So there are some communities, but I think the
Police gotta be understanding that if you go
go down in
to
the
certain parts of the
woods, you ain't gonna come up and
call for
you
backup,
gotta call
though.
for backup, immediate backup. But
I'm gonna
hold on, but if you
They
go
can
into
stay.
a more subtle neighborhood, it is unlikely. We have it in Barbados, where I know
police jeep ain't gonna drive certain places. Thank you. You tell yourself, and those are black.
neighborhoods that police. Hold on, now that police are not going to. A police is more likely to go down, and I won't call certain names in a
The
certain
neighborhood with a gun cop on his side. But when he get to a certain neighborhood,
He can take your hand off his gun,
Correct.
lay back himself and roll through slowly.
Can.
But he cannot go into certain neighborhoods, and those neighborhoods are not white neighborhoods.
They're not.
So yeah, you can understand the fact goes that police are fearful of blacks, not only overseas but here.
I agree, but I have a problem with that.
But
Hold on.
You have a problem here, you problem side. Hold on, I want you to
no, fall on off for my question first. What's
All
the
right.
problem?
My problem is that most of the times when you hear the court cases and these guys get arraigned,
Sorry,
they said that
you did, David saying incorrect. Cops in large cities do have unofficial quotas.
I see. Well, thank you for the
Go ahead.
fact.
Yeah.
Time.
I have a serious problem with a lot of these cops saying that they fear for their life, so they reach for the gun. Now, as a policeman, you have lots of options for non-lethal force as well as lethal force. You have your baton, you have your taser. These are American cops. They got proper kit. They got tasers, they got baton, they got pepper spray, they got the works. Now, what I'm saying to you, the gun is supposed to be the last resort. You're also trained in de-escalation exercises or training, where you're trying to talk a person down from the situation or the problem that they're in, rather than trying to add hostility to it. If you meet fire with fire, you will always be getting conflict. So my problem is that there are too many fearful police. That's my point. Because the quickest thing the police say, well, I fear for my life, so I reach for my gun. And that's the thing, when they pull up a black person, they already have unholstered their gun or they already took off the clip. So you're already, in your mind, you're conditioned to think that a black man will immediately be a threat to your life. So, and that comes through training. So
Then
they
why
have to
approach the
work.
car? What?
I mean, in your duties you have to, but the problem
there
is
is
that
a
they
bill
have
that was signed. Hold on, sorry. There's a bill that was signed.
you finish,
in-
you wanna make
hold
a
on.
point.
There's a bill that was signed in Illinois that says police
Prohibiting police departments from setting traffic
ticket quotas and from comparing officers' ticket numbers
numbers.
with decided promotion or raising
That's it.
certain. So there. It seems that it is, but there are no
Made it illegal in Illinois and some
other
other.
states that you
Because
say
it was
you
on the
can't.
books.
To be
Yes,
honest,
please.
right? I know the police, right? My mindset is that I can kill you before you kill me.
I agree with that, but don't be on it. But that's the last resort. Don't assume that every black person. That's like for me
But
as a
I'm
teacher.
guessing-
But that's like me as a teacher saying, you know what? If I
Right,
teach
sir.
this particular class, none of these children gonna learn nothing. So I ain't pushing. I can't approach
So
teaching
what about the
with that
point I
mentality.
made earlier when I said there was a guy, you called him name,
No serial killer.
Like, you need
But
to walk
when
yourself
they
and carry
give
these
less-
on.
slip of water.
The medical attention was given, and bear in mind,
The brutality was not caused by the police.
But it was
the
said-
brutality was caused by the fact that he ran about in bushes.
But it was said that they do
They
that.
know
They
it.
do that to other persons with a different racial background. also.
But no, I'm not saying that they don't. But what I'm saying is,
what you're capturing when you look
look at George Floyd.
versus what you're capturing when
When a black man is captured, look at the two black students that were tased,
almost
tased to death,
Correct. Ridiculous.
out of a car, had no reason.
No reason.
No reason.
Because
Because police in America, I already
Google police in America
They're aggressive, man.
cannot stop you for cause.
And they can't search for
what,
other
and they
words.
can't search you go
That's
on.
right.
But what they do is that they come to your car and say,
Driver license and registration, please. And you say, sir, what's the reason for stopping me? The reason for the thing is so that they
they can find fault within the driver's license and the registration.
registration number, so that if you they go in and say, well, I stop you on this
Suspicions of false.
Right, and the other thing that they do
Because they have
too,
no reason
they
to.
will always say that I smell something that could be considered marijuana.
Marijuana.
So,
yeah.
so once you smell something
Or
considered
take it-
marijuana,
You weaving.
Right.
That's all you weaving.
right. So once they say they have the right to take you out of the car, I'll ask you to go and do a search of the car because they suspect.
The thing about it,
marijuana.
the thing about it is also
Something
because
in
only like in February or so when I was in Jersey, yeah, stop.
You get pulled over?
Get stopped.
You were driving?
I was driving though, no.
And
I
you-
was driving. But we get stopped and maybe that's the reason why. The thing about it is that my girlfriend's sister was driving.
Complain.
The police came down on the opposite side of the road. And she said,
Watch this shit.
we can get stopped here now.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, sirens turned on, police SUV turned around and stopped the vehicle.
Kizzy,
First question was the reason for stopping us? The man gave her the vehicle got tint. The vehicle got no tint. It is illegal to have tint in New Jersey. But this vehicle got no tint whatsoever.
Is it legal to have tent in New Jersey?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It
you
did
get
not
a
no
lot.
tint whatsoever. The man stopped the vehicle, he thought that
He saw.
the vehicle had tint. Then they realized the vehicle had tint. I was like, look at this here.
Oh, his vehicle is tinted, but the cop car is
Yeah,
tinted.
they're tinted.
And Kizzy is
in
saying
black districts in
in the USA
are known
as training
districts and oftentimes have rookie officers that go to these
situation. White districts are known as
Seasoned.
retirement districts.
Retirement
Seasoned
districts,
officers
yeah.
go there.
Well said, Kez.
Jordan is saying cops who are really prosecuted have a saying better to be
tried by 12 than
Than
to be
carried
carried.
by
I know another friend that was
Right,
saying
right,
that last time he was in the BDF here, and he went over in the US for training to be a sniper. And they were all stationed at the base. They had their credentials, their passport, whatever. And you went into the city to buy just to do some shopping, and police stopped him. They had no reason to stop him, just stop him.
But they're bold enough to ask you what you here.
And he
What you doing here?
explained to him, he explained himself. He showed his ID, he military ID, everything. And the man still trying to antagonize him. Get going from there to find out where it is that you got inside your bag. And make a phone call and find out that okay, whatever he said is legit, but they still want to know where the bag.
But what about the black officers?
That's
What-
aggressive.
I wanna
do
make
you-
a point
do
where
y'all
y'all
think-
finish.
or do y'all think that
With the George Floyd situation, that
if a black cop
was
was among the 4 cops, he would have done
He
something?
would-
No, I asked you, do you think?
I don't know.
He would have done nothing because that's another thing.
Because you know,
it's a brotherhood. It's like a brotherhood.
brotherhood. They
It's
say
a-
when
it's
you
a
blue, you blue.
You blue, you blue.
Because I saw in a lot of the protesters where black cops were the ones that were pushing on the protesters more than the white cops.
Of course.
I saw black cops being
the one that shoot
You get
somebody
that.
say black people and
they're the one
But
tearing
I
it.
can let you remember them. But I can tell you this because I got friends that in the army over there, and they said, and they have said they're black cops and also persons in the guard that
National
said
Guard.
National
National
Guard
Guard, that's
that
right.
they will not go if they get called out because they're not for what the government is for.
Exactly.
All right, I want to say this,
They
right?
are
I want to say this, right? We sitting down here, we criticizing, as you said, the brothers in blue, right?
Black criticizing about it, we talking facts.
No, we
boss,
talking
criticism
facts.
is-
Go ahead, Drew.
But no, hear me.
Go ahead, Drew.
For children.
Hear me, Kimon. I heard the guy who was the head of the NYPD police union in New York. He said that there are over 350 million police stops in America every year, right? In Barbados, and if it brings back home, there are thousands of police stops or police reports, whatever it is, on a yearly basis, right? I can say this, right? That probably 95 or 99% of those police stops, right, are what would be considered as decent, right? So it is only a small percentage that really and truly turn into problems, right?
Yeah,
I-
start a big
Hold
thing. like
hold
this.
on, hold on,
What
hold
you
on,
see?
hold on. I also want to say this, right? Because I remember years ago I went to join police force, and I was supposed to go train in school and all that, but I didn't.
Barbados?
In Barbados, yeah.
Where they go?
Where you can go? Mark?
Right, but
America.
if it's one thing that I remember, and this is one thing we also have to
Thank
we
God.
also have to know, right? A police officer's job is a very dangerous job,
Of course.
right?
Because the light is in the lane
Right.
of fire.
And a police officer, believe it or not, most times have to make a 2-second decision, right?
Agreed.
No, I am not.
Where's the point?
Hold on. I just want to make this point, and I want this point clear. Every white police officer who gets charged with the murder of a black man, maybe is not necessarily racist,
That's true too.
right?
That
Because
is true too.
I tell people, you were not there.
What you look at a video.
Right?
In the moment.
In the moment, you
In
say,
the
well,
moment.
you know, you
What time to sit
don't analyze, well, I would have do this, I would have do that, I would have do this, I would have do that. But I want you to remember that police officer, there are some cases where there's blatant
Yeah,
disregard. for
kneeling
human
for
life.
Right,
8
like
minutes,
Floyd-
kneeling
like
for 8
Floyd
minutes
Jordan.
on a
Right.
man neck.
Hands
Right.
down.
Kneeling for 8 minutes
I
on a
can
man
see him
neck.
was there with a
Blatant.
black camera top head and that.
Blatant disregard,
I would have
blatant disregard for human life, right?
That 8
But
minutes
then
on
there's
a man
some,
neck.
but then there's some cases, believe it or not, that a man gonna make a decision, right? Now, if you look at
And that's why a lot of the cases,
Costello on the
a
camera.
lot of the cases in America are
Costello on the
acquitted.
camera.
Are acquitted.
Because you
A
really
lot of police shootings in America are
you really can't tell.
They may get
Administratively,
less job
though.
administratively, but
Yeah,
they're
they
acquitted.
And then if you even if,
Because the unions still.
if you bring it back,
Unions
You're
is
a lot
not-
strong,
if you bring
boy.
it back home to Barbados here,
Politically
and if
aligned.
you all saw the article in Barbados today by Selby Blues Night, his
You want me to
widow.
read it?
No, you don't have to read it. But
No, you-
his widow, she was lamenting on the fact that we marched in Barbados for Black Lives Matter on
Overseas,
behalf
but what about
of
here?
George
She
Floyd.
has a point.
But her husband,
She has a point.
Was killed.
well, now they consider
What about
openly.
Kobe and all
Right.
those? I heard
Right.
that.
gonna be
Right.
chanted.
Right.
Yeah. But her husband was actually killed in Barbados by a serving police officer.
In his back,
I
shot his
understand.
back.
Right? So I'm just
When America got cold,
right, but hold
these
on.
knees.
Right,
But
right.
I-
To fall apart.
The officer gonna build.
Longest time, man.
You gonna build.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
Right.
is, you were highly likely, not likely to find we start something and other people follow. I obviously
Believe that the
But you know, but hold on, before you
the
get
mo-
You know, with reference to the same Selling Blues Night, you remember when that killing took place? That
the Nation newspaper put a counter in the newspaper.
on a daily basis. Day 1, day 2, and they put pressure on the director of public prosecution's office.
So, and I call it pressure because they put this counter in paper,
Yeah.
and eventually the director of public prosecution
Said, you know what, we can bring charges.
Well, you have,
Right?
you should have to.
Right? And with reference to that, and I use that killing for this purpose, right? That
is one of those.
killings where realistically, I don't know the circumstances surrounding the case, but from what I read in the newspaper,
She cannot
right?
The circumstances were of such that
If
It's
I were a
reasonable,
police
though. This cost
officer,
reasonable,
or
though.
you're a police officer, I mean, as I said before, a police officer's
this job is a 2-second job.
I know, but what I'm saying is that, Mike, and that's where.
Cause you gotta go into a family too.
But I know, but look at the argument now coming from the Black Lives Matter movement. It's not only that they're saying defund these police.
You can't defund the police.
But no, they're trying to explain it because don't forget, there is a lot of training. They do a lot of training activities that are very racist. And even in terms of target practice and shooting, some of the targets are actually black men.
Yeah.
All right?
You ever see a boy white?
Yeah, but I know, but I mean in terms of black person, like you go and you do your training. The
Yeah,
other
because
thing
when
too-
they go and tell you, and their papa is always a black.
yeah, but not that's a black figure, but I mean like a
black
black,
man, right, you know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
But the other thing too is that the fact that in some states they had to ban chokeholds. Chokeholds were still allowed. These and I mean these in the WWE chokeholds that make you go to sleep. Like, I love wrestling. I'm talking about these chokeholds. I know we know it's on stage,
Right.
but we talk about these are lethal chokeholds. But it's a chokehold you can
One
do
in
that man
WWE.
pass. Yeah, I mean you pass out whatever. But I mean talking about lethal chokeholds that kill you.
But Simon,
Those are illegal.
What I find is that in defunding the police in America always starts from the union. And we have somebody, Chelsea.
she's in some part of the
Yeah, she's saying, I think they're on Jermaine.
Oh.
But they got 3 men in here glasses, so she can't be.
I should think she mean you, Jermaine. Come on.
Come on. You
Maybe you should come over here and travel to the south. Come
And
over
see
here
what-
and see what it is as a black man. She said, this is for the getting glasses. I think she means Jermaine.
Yeah.
But here's what. The police
But I
in the
never-
hold
I
on.
ne- I
The
never-
police,
I never-
you
I
said
never-
you started by saying our brothers in blue. When our brothers in blue,
I
not
think I'm the police.
I never said our black. I said you guys were talking about.
But
black.
our brothers.
No,
But you mad.
our brothers in blues, you know.
Hold on.
But I don't
Oh,
know.
anyhow.
Let me defend myself.
No, God, defend
let me
yourself.
defend
Hold
myself.
on,
Hold on, let me defend
Why you
myself.
defend
The
yourself?
reality
She
is,
just think she might.
I was making the point
Jermaine,
that we have to bring some balance to it.
I
And
understand.
we have to recognize that whilst there are
Racist police officers and people
who take their authority
Yeah, we call
extrajudicial,
super cops.
right? There's
Race
sometimes,
cops, race cops.
right?
Race
Sometimes there are police officers who find themselves in positions,
We understand that.
right? And they have to.
But nobody,
I understand
I don't think
that.
anybody
for us to now sit down and
Jermaine,
judge.
I don't think
Jermaine,
anybody
Jermaine.
disputing brother not police find himself.
a position, no,
Yeah,
no.
but you said
we're
police
police
job.
killing black people.
It's different.
When
I do not agree with that.
when the man, the police say allowed to
8
shoot
minutes
the
and
man in
37
back.
seconds per minute.
Because here's what the man had. The man
Like he pull the police taser gun, huh? All right. But with a taser gun, that is a non-lethal weapon.
That's
A man
illegal
running away
force.
from you,
is a reason to shoot him in his back. When you have the
lethal weapon, and he has a non-lethal
No,
weapon.
no, Mr. Rainbow,
When you
this-
sit
when you put your
knee in a man's neck, and
Eight
a
minutes,
man
no more
call
than
for
8
you for a
minutes.
mother that
No more
already
than 8
dead,
minutes. More than 8 minutes.
and you and your friends watching.
and all three they holding on a man that was not
Even
even
resist-
resisting, you're gonna sit down and talk about police and brutalizing people.
The problem
Tears-
is this.
hold on. Tearsing two young students that had no reason to
True.
be cute tears.
Alright.
Yanking people from cars.
If y'all can remember, right?
Come on, Jeremy.
There was a video circulating on social media with a task force police officers
Beating
Yeah,
somebody, I think it was in
on
a
the
nightclub.
on the beach
In a
and
nightclub.
kicked a fella that was already down
For
for
the
the
ground.
getting hold, right? I can't recall if he was disciplined
Or
or
not.
but
If a complaint was made.
correct.
That's the
I
thing.
think a complaint was made.
I think Andrew Pilgrim took a-
Represented the young man.
Right, but
But you know, Barbara,
there
like,
are
about
many
2, 3 years.
instances of where persons
Yes,
would have
no, man.
complained about treatment of by police officers in custody are also on the roads. I even saw a video where police slapped
We had a
a
guy
man
died
in
in
the
the
face.
cells. We had all sorts of
Good.
cases.
Yeah, we got police complaints bureau thing too.
The police
Yeah,
complaint
special
bureau need,
responsibility.
as you can say,
but
I
it's
might care, right?
established, but it's
No,
not-
no. The police complaints commission in Barbados need the funding.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end of the day, you cannot, in my opinion,
Opinion. Have police investigating police.
So
Yeah,
that means you would
ah.
that mean you would defund the Auditor General too.
Well, no, that's on a different topic. But what I'm just saying is
Good point, good
that
point.
at the end of the day,
brother.
if a police have, if
I sit here, abused by a police, have to go to another police.
I would not feel comfortable.
So
It's
who
like
should
this
investigate
here,
police?
being raped, but go and explain your case to a rapist. You understand?
Who should investigate police?
I believe that there should be a tribunal set
That
up,
is set up.
A commission set up that has lawyers,
That's it.
that has a respect.
respectable people
Or
on
the
the.
retired police.
They have I don't even want to. Probably one or two.
Oh,
It
retired,
should have a
retired.
JPs. It should have
JPs and so
respectable
on.
members of community.
Yeah, yeah.
That has
A
a
balance like a jury
say
That's
that
right.
made up of
professional doctor, so you can examine.
examine the reports of forensic scientists.
Of course. You talk
Somebody, a
criminologists.
criminologist
You're talking.
that can look at these
Problems and say yes, you did this or no. That's what in
in America. No. Let me tell you something in America. When an internal affairs officer
The
turn up,
the comfy tail, boy.
my man just know
right?
that don't talk. You can't
Run to that captain and not super.
Right.
You're
think
gone.
that-
You're gone. That's
When the
facts.
internal affairs come for you, it done.
It done, feds, boy.
Because them men is investigate you
from your household.
down to your nose hole. So what I'm saying is when we have in Barbados that the police are being and that is where I was
Saying that even in Barbados, when we looked at the
March, we are
I was not clear on the march as it relates to
was it for police
brutality, not only
in America
or in or was it
for did it arise for Nelson? Did it arise for this? I
understand that
the
the
march was in solidarity with the people overseas. But in my opinion, I think that it should have also encompassed a strong stance in Barbados against police brutality.
You got comment here by John Denny.
Did you listen to the speech by David?
I heard the speech where he mentioned the police brutality in Barbados. What I'm saying is,
So we have to get to a place where we don't get.
Hot and sweaty for nothing.
Correct. Because
What
So-
is the solutions?
What is
The action?
Correct.
Are we going to continue this march until we see change? Or
We're
we
just
just
gonna
Or
march
are we gonna
one
write-
Saturday, 2 Saturday, because obviously the
fine.
first one got messed up, and that would be that. So at the end of the day, the Americans did not start marching for the last 12 hours.
And you're
Something
seeing
else
changes.
Until
You're
they
seeing
see
changes.
changes.
You're
Police
seeing changes.
defunding me, take the money away from police
sponsored programs and give it to black community.
communities. That's
to
right.
build up.
That's what defunding mean.
Very funny police in Barbados, you ain't got nothing.
The police, when I say police, I'm not saying
Fund, I just using the language. But what I'm saying is we need
to
to
send a strong signal, not only in America, but also in
Across the
Barbados, that the police cannot be brutalizing us
They're not allowed to
as
themselves.
they feel.
reason.
Right?
Any
John
comment?
Denny has a comment. He said the main issue is no police accountability,
correct.
no trust in the prosecution system, coroners or investigators who investigate.
Let me
Touch
police
on that coroner.
misconduct.
When the
Wonderful.
George Floyd situation happened, the coroner said that he died from
natural
having
cause.
ailments.
Ailments, yeah.
Fund that he had already when they did
Independent.
it said he died from the fact that he was cut off based on his belly.
And based on his it went fine.
I just say something. Whoever that coroner is, right?
Which one?
The first one,
The police?
the
Whatever.
police coroner, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you, he won't charge him because
That's
even without doing a forensic investigation into George Floyd's death,
You know, man
you
died.
can clearly see
That's right.
how the man died.
So I
You
know.
know, clearly seeing
so-
somebody that is not the necessary.
You can't read that as
Oh,
cause.
well, examine.
You have to
examine.
You ain't
examine.
fuck with
that.
man there for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's a lot
You
of
gotta do a
things.
proper.
The proper assessment.
Are they actually working in the best
That's
interest
the question.
of the very same people they pretend, I know the words I use, pretend to represent?
Unions,
Because sometimes when you look at what goes on in the unions, in the background versus in the foreground, two different
But the argument is that if the
but-
unions sign on to a social partnership, they gotta agree with everything that these movements here. The fact that you got Lalu Hanneman, you need that legal person now to draft up a document.
I don't forget Andrew Pilgrim, who was very
Yeah.
instrumental on Saturday.
But
So,
you
question,
need to
though.
have a legal person that can advise
question?
next steps.
No.
Yes,
Question though. For years, we have been hearing that our police has brutalized, beat everything you could think about to get confessions from persons, whether they did the crime
Or not.
and it's still going.
Yep.
Because I hear a real brutality the other day.
Good to hear.
So we're going on with that. I mean, it's not right.
And that's what I said the
But
march
that's-
should have been
I want you to remember that's
Alleged.
Solidarity.
John Reno, although it is alleged, right?
alleged.
Although it's alleged, right? Although it is alleged. My man, these things is going. I had an uncle.
Hold on.
The
that
money,
was on the
the
brink.
money,
I had an uncle that was on the
Jermaine,
brink
yeah.
again. He asked birth.
Like the uncle say, yeah,
Only
Asperger's
because
alleged.
his father, because of we father is my grandfather, walked into that station.
it was a true
He didn't get
story.
touched.
Alleged.
I thought I had a story. Mate.
So it can't be alleged.
He didn't get
But we
touched.
got we
alleged.
And then I let him. I
So
told
that
you
might be
a
to
story.
the thing, but this.
On a
Go
serious,
ahead.
on a serious note,
Yeah.
about the issue of unions, right?
I have another story.
I think that the unions, right now,
Uh-huh.
if we got the issue of the whole boss program being discussed, right? And our union leaders are black people, right? And it won't necessarily
Heads
see,
black.
right?
The head's black. The one you see is black.
All them
So
that.
the heads, the who hold the positions,
Uh-huh.
executive power in the unions have been black people, right? And the plight of working class black people, whereas it's in the States, could be England, the Caribbean, it did not advance the rights of
Well
workers
said.
significantly.
You mean boss?
No.
Even right now, right?
Can we start speaking of boss?
I ain't speaking about boss.
No, you said that then.
He touched on boss.
Touched on boss.
Touched on boss.
But
Because I can say that I
Believe in the boss program. I think it's a good
But-
program.
All right, but we ain't
All
doing
right,
with
we know what
that.
I know.
But
You
what
got money.
I'm saying is that we still suffer the issues that we come back to racism, classism, right? I just see the heads of the union driving big vehicles,
which are paid for by the workers.
correct, and constituencies canvassing for votes for later elections.
Of course.
And these
That's
sort
the
of
truth, though. That's the truth.
You
these
start
sort
off
of
the one time.
these sort of behaviors, right, deter the minds of young leaders coming up in this country who may actually love the unions, who may have the interest of the workers at heart,
But they have the interest of me.
but they, right? This is
Go
about
ahead,
about black
Kimura.
empowerment.
Yes.
And the fact that black people are aiding and abetting the white man's system to put on his own brother man for his own advancement, right? And we need to get to the point that we are
Really
holding
rich.
our own people accountable for the role that they play when they get invited to the white man's table, because they
Really
don't
rich.
see that they
A black
are.
anymore.
You know, I believe that
Black
in the
anymore.
next probably 10 years there won't be a union.
Yeah, but at the union,
We
at the
realize
union is a
because
cause.
younger people
At the
already
union is a
came
cause.
out.
Yeah, at the union is a cause for it.
from now.
But the union is the cause of it because
I
of how
would
you.
like to know
how you handle
stats
issues.
based upon how many young persons are actually in union.
A lot of coming out.
I never thought that.
But don't forget, unions are
Yeah,
federal.
but
That's
membership is
right.
actually dropping.
But not only that too, because of a lot of you would hear instances of some union leaders be implicated in financial misdoings or misconduct.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, that's right. You heard
Okay.
rumors. You heard allegedly. My whole point is this though, coming out of the Black Lives Matter, coming back on the Black Lives Matter. Protests and marches are important because you get your message out there.
Definitely.
But the next steps, the steps that happen behind closed doors, the ones that we don't necessarily see, are just as important.
Definitely.
Because where you try to negotiate, or you try to put the stance, or you write a clear paper or a clear statement, this is what Black Lives Matter stands for, this is what we would want to see happen in Barbados, so this is what we want to see happen among our police or in our society. That's why you're getting things happen, because if you see what's happening in America now with the taking down of the Confederate statues, as well as legislation now with
To
the
rename the
police.
bases.
Right,
and
but
all
the
that.
And the
police
street
now
was
use-
no-
Rename Black Life in Washington DC, Black Life.
Black Lives Matter.
Right outside the
Matters.
Trump White House.
Correct.
I think, yeah.
The fact that show holes to or those kinds of
Question
banned.
though,
Indeed,
it
it has to be
is 4
formalized.
months until the US election.
Yeah, November. It's
Yeah.
November? 5 months.
Yeah.
September, October,
This
November.
president,
Do y'all
right?
think that this will really make an impact into the election?
Yes,
If the people vote.
If
No,
the
I
people
get
vote.
no, don't
Yeah,
forget,
no.
no, forget the people vote because don't forget America.
The vote does not count by people.
Electoral college.
The electoral college vote, and the people vote, but and
There's a popularity. I think based on when
Popular
Hillary
vote.
with the law of the election
they were trying to look at some changes as it relates to the populist vote,
give
president, the person.
Yeah,
Now,
you
when President Trump won a lot of his election based on what you call the evangelical vote and
Oh, yes.
and
The
black
middle
people
class
vote,
vote.
the middle class.
but no, he has dropped based on what I was checked,
Okay, there,
he have dropped his black vote
votes have been dropped by at
at least 28 points.
30 points.
And this has all been going out to Biden. In his
sense that Biden is picking up
A lot more.
black votes and he's dropping in a lot more of the. And
But
he
does the
lost.
black vote matter that much?
He lost a lot on the evangelical. It has his political campaign has been seriously affected by the
people, the fact that
Candace Owens is another joke.
when you
when and you clear a whole park just to have a moment with the Bible and the Bible was upside down. And when the man asked
if
him,
it's you Bible, you say it's a Bible, and who are the Bible?
Bible Ivanka had it and she
I, so
there's and the church spoke out heavily against it. Now, will it affect the American vote?
Yeah.
We don't know because
We don't
the
know.
electoral colleges are the same that voted him in.
I want to.
Unless they had a change of that.
I want a question onto the same point you're making, right?
You can wrap up in
Right.
five.
No problem. Do you think?
And I want your opinion on this, Key Mark, because you're very
He always
analytical.
vote against
right?
to get to fair-
Do you think
Do either of you, Key Morris, think, right, that if the American people elect the Democrats in November
Would it be
or the
better?
Republicans, that it can make a serious difference as to
Not really.
because I mean, let's be real, you had a black president in America, and I
Didn't
think
do
more
much.
racism
Happened
occurred
under
under him than anything else.
School shootings,
And you know,
everything.
let's be real, you have
Church
the
shootings.
Democrats and the Republicans have been
Shift.
in power for the last 100 or
Not
200
10
years. I do real.
I
it is that the state, the plight of the black man has not significantly.
Because the system is institutionalized.
I
And
be-
it's
I
even
personally
perpetrated by
believe,
those
right?
same Democrats.
No, I believe
Because
personally-
it's got the Democrats and the Republicans. Oh Lord, is that real, man?
I believe that there will
Not
be
right.
changes in the American system because the changes are actually taking
But at
place.
least
No.
Biden should have enough sense to know he got signed the right one.
But he was part of it. He was in there for
Yeah.
50 years. He was
Yeah.
in there.
How many years?
50
0
years.
He's been a
He was in there for
he's a
Jim
corrupt
Crow.
politician.
He's a part of that system.
All right, Jermaine, but
You ain't
let-
think he
Make a
make a
difference.
difference?
But what I'm saying is,
He's a corrupt
the
politician.
fact that
changes.
are taking the place now.
On the
It's a-
streets.
it's a good
No, no,
thing.
no.
By
Is it-
street,
is it-
street boys, the streets.
On the streets, the politicians, you know what I'm saying is?
Listen.
The politicians themselves has
Yeah.
also joined the marches, the
Yes.
protests.
The governors.
The governors, the mayors,
That's
the
right.
police chiefs,
They have
the
a comfortable.
changes have started to take place.
You realize that they're only
What-
only because of business
But
community.
no, what you
That's
have to
fine.
understand
But
about
it's
the states as well
Mhm.
is that the states is run, even though 50 states,
Yeah.
it is, and one America, it is still run each by their own country of law.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
what the governors have, they all their own presidents or their own prime ministers.
Correct.
If the laws are not federal laws,
Mhm.
you can enact laws.
You can yeah,
actual
laws, you can pull laws. But
The
the fact that people
have started
started to seriously look at the
the protests, the public reforms, and the changes have already started. So Biden
will have no choice but to follow on or
get slaughtered in the midst.
Yeah,
of-
yeah. There's a
Anthony made a comment here and said, shop black. Eddie's Supermarket, Jordan, Chanel's, Bush Bay, Kelton, Emerald City, Cherish, etc.
Popular.
Are we ready? Are we ready for Black Lives Matter? I didn't know about Kelton and Emerald City because they ain't got black people prices.
but they're black people own.
Well, a black supermarket though.
Yeah.
But,
My black owned.
but we got. I think Kimar to answer that question that Jermaine posed.
This is what you're saying.
The changes.
Do you think it would make a difference if the Republicans or the Democrats come in?
I can answer that after. But I think if you don't want to factor in the fact that there are protests, that means you would discount the 1930s riots that occurred in the Caribbean. Right? If it did so well for us in these small states, it could do well.
It is doing well.
It's
doing well.
doing well.
You're seeing change.
for people over there as well. But it needs to be led by community leaders, so the
Correct.
doctors and the lawyers and those who have the skills
and all
And
that.
and those
And
advocates
lawyers.
who have
You need lawyers.
the direction of where we want to chart from, to take the agenda. Those are the
Policy
ones
paper,
who
man.
need to lead it, and not the politicians, right?
No.
Because the politicians who funded by business interests will just take it right, maneuver it right back into.
That's
the
why they
system.
like
Sanders.
policy a lot. That he tell
yeah.
people money
So,
to fund
Kimar,
and not big.
Alright, go ahead.
Right. As it relates to the whole Republican Democrat thing, I don't necessarily favor any political organization
Party?
in the states, right? If it be real, Joe Biden is not my favorite
Thank you.
candidate.
But it's too, it's like church, less
He's the
evil.
strongest of the weakest Democrats in that thing.
In my opinion, on a normal day, Trump
But my shit.
will match.
But here's this here now.
What you think now about, we getting back to Black Lives Matter.
They're saying now that for Joe Biden to win, you would need to bring a black female.
VP.
VP,
VP.
Vice President, a black female.
He would need a black
Don't say Candace
female.
Owens.
Because don't forget,
I
Trump
would
is
never
still
wear a black
racist.
female VP.
What I think is that a black female needs
But
to
emerge.
lead the Democrat Party,
Thank
Correct.
you.
not the deputy.
No, no.
What you can't. Okay, let me not.
Now,
let me
wait,
let me not get ahead of
Wait, y'all
myself.
started on a
Hold
black female and not a black person.
No, it needs because America is going to beat Trump. You need a female.
Yeah.
Polls are showing that you need to beat Trump.
you need a female.
You need a female, but
And she gotta be black.
slaughter Trump,
She gotta be black.
you need to bring a black because of
What is
She gotta be
going
bright
on
and articulate.
right
She
now.
gotta be bright and
They are.
articulate.
Joe Biden did say that
Michelle Obama.
That he has.
No,
Not Michelle
shake hand
Obama.
back, shake
That
hand
I believe the woman that he's going to choose might be white because I know that there's a lady that he
Interview that that
can't say
Who's the
that
person?
his people interviewed. She's actually a governor.
She white or black?
She's white.
Oh my
But
God.
what I'm
Female
saying
so
is,
good.
they are saying no,
Where
which,
they can't bring Kamala
which
Harris?
may bring him to she's Latino or Hispanic,
She's a mixture.
yeah, but
more Hispanic. But what I'm just saying, in order for
for him to really win in my book, a black,
female,
because Trump is alleged that he don't like females and he's racist.
Yeah.
so
You bring that black female, how
you think he ain't gonna win?
So, Kimar, elections. Who you think will win? Biden or Trump?
My money, my Trump.
I'm not a Trump
Wait,
supporter.
look, Kimar.
In all honesty, Trump got
Jermaine.
Trump. That's kind of obvious.
Kimar.
I am a Trump fan.
Are you saying no more?
But no.
No, I can
But
say
in this time, I would like
What you
Joe
think
Biden to
happened?
win.
Will you think that happen?
But in my honest opinion,
Trump will win.
I got a
I
belief.
believe that Trump is going to win.
So wait, I gotta ask a question though.
We come back to Trump.
Why you are a Trump fan?
I always like no. I
You like the apprentice
listen,
as well?
I cool with Jermaine. I just don't like Jermaine.
Like how what
He would say.
how you would say. So using you as
For example, doesn't mean I do it.
like him. So Trump speech and pattern and how
Speaks.
You like the comedy?
No, I like
Right,
the
you
fact
really
that
don't.
when he
You like
went
shady
into
stuff?
no,
I like the fact that when he
he went into politics, he was not a typical politician.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was
He's
one
a
of a
maverick.
Okay.
business.
Okay.
He had a business.
But
So
it's
it's-
to be gone, yeah.
Tonight, I'm
Say-
declaring that I'm going to run for politics. Then Kimar just endorsed me.
Right, yeah.
I want Biden to win.
No. I asked you who you want.
He'll not say that he gonna be.
Trump gonna be
next minute too.
I asked you who you think you win.
I think because of what's happening in America now, it will be close, but I think Biden will win.
Who you think? Who you think?
Who you think? I want to be honest. Who you think of it?
Biden.
Biden will win.
Nah, I ain't really care about night to them.
but who you think gonna win?
But if I used to go on what's going on now, I actually had Trump to win election when he get impeached. That's how he to win. But based on what's going on now,
I don't think he'll win.
and I think more whites will go vote against Trump. The black people
Don't
voting
forget
for
his
Biden
equality.
can't make
Can't name
Biden
enough.
win.
Ain't
You
enough.
know, American racism in America is
So
entrenched.
I think right now with the people supporting this Black Lives Matter thing, Biden may have a little bit more.
There's no more leverage.
The election.
That's probably the
But
best
it
at
does-
Hillary
He
probably.
would have run now.
She would have probably get
does
opportunities.
he have enough to win?
Well, we gotta see. But here's what the best.
No.
I know that I've been successful in calling all the elections as it relates to Barbados and America. I've studied in America for politics.
So you calling this
So-
Trump?
I believe he can win it, but I just say,
As I say, it goes back to me to say,
and I don't move on emotion.
emotion. I move on in numbers and I move on
Yeah, I
subject.
understand.
What I believe that in order to beat Trump,
that you would need to have is a black female.
woman
But if
in
Trump,
there.
but if Trump wins
And they're running
election, if Trump wins election in November, what that tells you about the American populace?
America's a very
But it has nothing.
It has nothing
to
to
do
do
Like the
with
racist
the
one,
people.
and they value the
But
economy.
no, it has nothing. It
Americans
has to
value
do
the
with that
economy
300 or 400 people that vote.
which is the electoral college.
Hold on, the money.
And if you don't put more blacks in there, then you
Listen,
will win.
I can say this to you, right?
Right? It's all about
You
economics.
heard y'all.
All of us here. Y'all guys heard Trump's first speech.
He was running for politics.
No, I can't remember my speech there 4 years ago.
This
Speech, man, he called Mexicans rapists, drug dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And all,
okay.
But that was
Right.
not- that was it.
That was the name for them in the primary.
and that was the first of many speeches that he made, right? Trump even went as far as to say that if he shot
A man
someone
in
in the
Times
middle
Square,
of Times Square,
he would
he
get
would
it.
still win the election.
And he was
Right.
And the reality is this, right?
But I
I
bet
add something to you before you go on. What Trump said was not incorrect.
when Trump says that there are people from Latino, whatever, were
Coming
are
across.
rapists and things.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
What he did is that he should not have
So much.
generalized it to everybody, but the Americans
Americans were fed up with the
Latinos
and these
Yeah,
people in
immigration,
jobs.
immigration is an issue.
and that they were coming
Immigration is-
illegally and not even settling down and behaving themselves.
They
So,
heavily were coming and creating gangs and creating things. So well he said it and it was right. Is how he said,
How
it,
he said it.
and then generalizing all we
well,
call
type in.
that. Well, he said Mundo should show. Hey,
I can make my final comment.
Let's find out
I
there.
can make my
Let me
final
done.
comment
Let me
tonight, right? And this is my final
in
comment,
2
right?
seconds.
What Trump as a
President and Trump coming to
office in America represents the anger
in America.
Of course.
right? Now we see the anger from the blacks, and those are who we consider the progressives.
Right?
But I want you not to forget
That over
the period of the last 4 years, all of those far right groups have shown their anger on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of anger in America.
and
Both sides.
let
so
me
it's going to be a very
Right.
to be running down
let-
Jermaine is
It's
going
going to be a very
interesting.
let me say this
election.
Emphatically, I support the Black Lives Matter movement, right?
But if it's one thing I know, and this is my very final comment, you see the people in the far right, they vote.
They turn up. The sad reality of it
That's
is
true.
that a lot of people,
That are out there marching now, the progressives.
They may not.
and the people in Black Lives Matter,
They may not
sadly,
vote.
they don't
You
vote.
can't count on that vote. You can't count on it.
Kimar, you ready for
Closing statements.
Well, I mean, I think it was a generally good conversation. So in wrapping up, bringing it home, I think that the Black Lives Movement here needs to actually swing what it means of Barbadian culture where we want to take it.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of issues that need addressing, from education, to health, to banking, to everything in Barbados, because right now we kind of hit a wall and COVID cascade everything on us. So we created a whole new fiasco of problems in Barbados.
That's right.
And it would take our brightest minds. And I was very happy to see persons like Andrew Pilgrim on the forefront at this march. And
But he also has some ministers, I think Minister Kerr, Minister Cannon, Trevor
Yeah,
Prescott.
Prescott for sure is a
Those guys were
Pan-Africanist.
there
Yeah, as well. So we got to give kudos to the leaders.
from that angle too.
yes. So
Oh,
I
what's the
like,
Prime Minister?
I actually like the fact that the march was very diverse. I saw persons from the white community,
Indian Muslim
Muslim,
community,
sure.
yeah.
everything. But
For Anna and those that
what
were
what I am saying in relation to the march, it can be biased or it can be politically affiliated.
Definitely.
Right? It needs to be a pure agenda focused on.
But
Black
Kimar, you
empowerment.
said because politicians were there, it's political.
And no, I was not
No.
making any allegations towards the march, but what I'm saying is, it cannot be that. Right? I listened to Trevor Prescott, and he maintained his tune for many years. He never changed his tune as it relates to black people and the empowerment of blacks, and they have the greatest amount of respect for him for holding that position. Right? And I think that a lot of people who are now at the head of the institutions in Barbados needs to
Yeah,
adopt,
Change.
needs to adopt a similar approach to focus on the majority of the population. And I think if we could have our brightest minds leading us, I think we would go far as a country.
Thank you. Damani?
I don't think I have that much more to say.
Simon?
I think at the end of the day, the start of any movement requires a lot of attention. And I am grateful that the Black Lives Matter movement has come to Barbados and is now taking shape and form. It is what would be the objectives of the movement, how they go about achieving equality and a better way of life for black people in Barbados is left to be seen.
Definitely.
But I do believe that they're on the right path to making improvements to the quality of life for black people
Definitely.
in Barbados, and that's people of color, regardless, in Barbados.
I just saw that when the dust is settled and it's clear, that something comes out of this. I don't want the next couple months to go on and then to hear we had all of this that went on and nothing substantial, nothing changes were made.
But we want
I just saw
Nelson
that
gone.
changes were made.
Nelson has to be gone for
As
sure.
I said, on mine is that I love, as you guys just said, support, I love the Black Lives Matter movement together, but I am a person of substance and change. And
Okay.
I believe that if we do anything, if there's a goal in mind, then the goal has to be fulfilled. In the sense that when a footballer run on a field with a ball, his intention is to score.
Definitely.
Correct.
And when if we think that our police is abusive, if we think that we need systems to be changed, if we need Nelson to be gone or whatever, then until that happens, we should be able to rally and continuously until they happen, and not just be a one day or a one day wanderer.
Yeah.
And that we just march and say, yes, I was a part of that, but there was no change.
Right.
There was nothing.
Yes,
So
be
that is,
formalized,
these are the formulas, and we have to pull back, rethink. That didn't work. Let's go at it from another angle. Let us do this and do that. And I remember from marches when Barbados marched against the Democratic Labour Party, but when they got to Parliament, nobody take the letter, or when they got here, they get put off the property. When
Was
they got
that
in.
impartial?
So no, I regarded,
political.
but I'm just saying, and that included unions, that included political parties,
And
that included the country,
white businessmen.
that included white and black businessmen.
Yeah, boy.
So what I'm saying is, when we look at it, it's supposed to be that it
Never
brings
thought you see that
about
idea, Simon.
change.
One
Yeah.
one thing that needs to be on the agenda though is the decriminalization of marijuana
Definitely.
and expunging records for all persons who've been charged below a certain amount.
And over 10 years, if you have your records over 10 years, I believe it's
Right.
supposed to
That-
be, if it's
that's
not a
fine.
serious offense, expungement and so there's a lot more
When we
in,
are talking about a parole system in Barbados while we at it?
but next time. But what I'm just saying
All
is,
that needs to happen.
all right,
True.
yeah, what I'm saying is, there's a lot of things that movements can do. I'm a strong believer of movements. I'm a strong believer of people coming together
For cause.
for a cause.
Yes.
And I'm strong on champion. I championed the homeless and they didn't give up till they get a building, and I went to
this thick and thin. But then any day I didn't give up
Probably
because
called
the
David
goal
Denny.
that was in mind,
Right.
right? So we need to
on
look at
that
it.
note, I just want to thank the viewers who logging in and watching us.
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
we got any? Oh yeah, just any events, anybody doing anything?
For
Father's
Father's Day on Sunday, the Men's Empowerment Network, they're having a Father's Day experience. You could view it on Facebook, on Instagram. There will also be a link shared via Zoom, so you can look out the pages on FB on Facebook for that link and tune in. You will have a couple guest artists performing, like Blood, Kerry Sargent.
On the 250?
Huh?
On the 250?
What do you mean? I know what you're talking about. Right, so you have you'll have
It's virtual.
a chef, you know, cooking up some kind of dinner.
Mixologist
Some
too.
mixologist there, some poetry, some music.
You call it Ramacourt?
Ramacourt. Yeah, I hear was the last edition, boy.
I know,
I
right?
hear called you, man. Anyway, you'll see.
But
See.
the
Tune in, you will see.
The Barbados Food and Clothing Bank, in association with the Global Shapers, are actually looking at assisting those that would have been affected by COVID and also fire victims. And they are giving away a number of clothes. So if you need clothes for your babies, if you need clothes for yourself, go to the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness or the Global Shapers page, and you will see the posters on. Today we're giving away men's clothes on the 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Women clothes are given away on the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. And then children and women took a come back again on the 18th and the 25th, only between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So check, I think it's going on from Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and they are giving away clothes and stuff for people that are, and it's going on for the whole month of June. And check the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness, or you could call 538-2480. And we are giving away clothes. If you know somebody in your area that needs some clothes, I know people want food, but people also need clothes. They find victims. There are people that children go, they can't afford the clothes on their back. So we are giving away a number of clothes, and that's the initiative that the Barbados Food and Clothing Bank and the Global Shapers are looking at. So without further ado, please check the page, and then we come to you again every single Tuesday here. We see we do a new set. Some people complained about our set last time, so we set up a new set.
It's nice.
We making sure that you viewers see us more better.
And we got another
And
set coming.
We got viewership in around our set. We sometimes go to board. We got people coming in that are asking to be able to come and say their piece on the show. But we want you to tune in every Tuesday. Please like the DeBrief TV show page so you know when we go live. Share it, like it. If you want to be a part of the show, let us know. If you have questions, send it to us in the messaging and what's not. Again, you have co-host Simon Allen. We have there Simon. We got Demani Small. You got Jeremy Beckford, Kimar Stewart. And again, our disclaimer is that when we are of political parties, we are of the people, and we
That's
are
right.
here as a group of young, highly intelligent young gentlemen that care about the issues that are going on in our society. And while we can't always separate the two from our parties versus our conversation, at the end of the day, the seriousness is on the conversation and what is happening on the economy, what is happening in the country, what is happening in our social issues, what is happening religiously, and we will be talking about a number of issues. Stay tuned on the page. We will post every week what our topics are and what we'll be discussing, and so you can have a heads up to join the discussion. If you want to link in or call in, let us know as well. We'll be happy to have all your comments, but we want to thank all those who would have tuned in tonight, made the show possible. And sorry about any technical glitches are not coming on early because we had to move. We had some difficulties, but we've rectified, and we are good to go. Have a good one until
Blessings.
next
Thanks.
week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.